Hello, I'm Vishala Sripathma. Russia says an agreement allowing Ukraine to ship out grain through the Black Sea has now ended. The Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov made the announcement a short time ago. The deal had due to expire on Monday, with the UN, Turkey and Russia holding talks in Istanbul on renewing the arrangements. But Russia says its conditions haven't been met. The deal was brokered last year by the United Nations and Turkey to try to safeguard global food security, as Ukraine is one of the world's top cereal producers. Well, joining us now in Riga is Alexei Goroshenko from our BBC Russian service. Thanks for joining us, Sergei. What's the latest on this? What do we know?
Well, we know the Kremlin has promised to quit the deal for actually a long time, and the last ship which left the Odessa port yesterday, the Turkish ship with the Ukrainian grain, Ukrainian corn, for instance, was the last ship authorized by Russia. It was in late June. So since then, Russia has not authorized any ships to leave the Ukrainian ports, and the fact that Russia would suspend the deal was actually something which was predictable for now, and there were talks that probably Russia will remain, and actually every time when the deal had to be prolonged, there were risks that Russia would quit it, and but now it's the first time since the deal was first brokered it has actually happened. Yesterday, in an interview to an American news outlet, the President Biden's national advisor Jake Sullivan told that Russia would struggle to explain its southern partners, the partners of the countries from the global south, the partners from Africa, for instance, to explain them why they decided to quit the deal and why they are risking the world famine in their political fights. But still, Kremlin announced that Russia is now suspending the deal, and we are waiting for the statement from the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They promised to publish it shortly.
Okay, Sergei, well, hopefully we'll be bringing that to viewers in the next hour when it is due to be released. Sergei, can you explain to people watching that how important this Ukraine grain deal is?
Well, it is important both for Ukraine, which is relying a lot in its economy on the export of grain and of export of the agriculture. And this is also important for the world because Ukraine has quite a big share of its agriculture in the world market. So without it, Ukraine can actually the world can lose a lot, and there are risks of skyrocketing prices on the agriculture, on the corn, and in the meantime, poor countries with the low GDP, especially countries of Africa, which are also relying on Ukrainian agriculture, could face famine due to the higher prices and due to the struggles with the shipments of grain. So which is why the UN has worked so hard to broker this deal last year, to make it happen and to allow still to allow the Ukrainian export through the Black Sea. And Russia, which is also sharing the Black Sea and which is fighting a war with Ukraine, allowed this deal, but in exchange of allowing their agriculture to be shipped as well. And since the deal has been brokered, Russia has complained a lot that the terms and conditions of the deal, especially those in favor of Russia, has not been met. And which is why they finally decided to quit it now.
Okay, Sergei, thank you very much for that update. Sergei Goroshenko from our Russian service in Riga there. So he explained the importance of that Ukraine grain deal. We can go live now to Odessa, to a member of the Ukrainian parliament representing the port city, Alexei Goroshenko. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, Odessa, a really crucial part of this deal and a really important port city. What's your reaction to this?
It's continuation of Russian politics with the aim to cause as much chaos in the world as possible. Putin didn't want this deal from the very beginning, and he never wanted it. He wants starvation in the world. He wants new waves of migrants and refugees running from their countries, from hunger to Europe and to other countries. That was his aim, and it's still the same. Now he feels that it's the moment to leave the deal, that he can do it. I think this is a very big mistake of the free world, which allowed to Putin to blackmail the world with this by blocking the Black Sea. Just imagine, one of the key seas in the world is now blocked. But what will be if Putin tomorrow will decide to block Baltic Sea, or Chairman Xi will decide to block South Chinese Sea? What will be with the world in this situation? So I think that the only way...
Alexei, sorry to interrupt there, but I was just explaining the importance of Odessa in terms of this deal. What is the situation right now where you are?
The situation in the city right now is calm. Port is empty because, yes, the last ship left yesterday. But the whole last month, there were just several ships. So it was clear that Russia is doing everything to kill the deal, what they try now to do finally. Economically, definitely that will influence Ukraine. But what is more important is 400 million people in the world which are dependent from calories from Ukrainian crops. And we can say that Russia is killing thousands in Ukraine by this war. But really tens of thousands can be killed by hunger, and were killed by hunger when last year Ukrainian agricultural export was blocked, and now it is again mainly blocked.
And Alexei, it's just worth pointing out that Ukraine is the fourth largest exporter of agricultural products in the world. What would you like to see now, since we've heard this news from Russia, from the Ukrainian government and also beyond Ukraine?
And we are one of the number one for countries like Lebanon, Egypt, and other countries which are very dependent from Ukrainian crops. What should be done? I think the free world should stop this blackmailing. And together with Turkey say commercial navigation can't be attacked. And the ships should continue to go. And Russia in reality is bluffing because their Black Sea fleet is weakened significantly. Their flagman ship, missile cruiser Moskva, is now submarine on the bottom of the Black Sea. So in reality, they can't do anything if the world will say, no, we will ignore this and we will continue shipping. It's nothing about Putin.
OK, Alexei, thank you very much for joining us from Odessa, a port city in Ukraine. Alexei Goroshenko there. Well, news of the expiration of the grain deal comes after an attack on the strategically important Kerch bridge, which links Russia with occupied Crimea. Russian media says the bridge was hit by an unmanned craft on the water's surface. It also says 2 people were killed in a car. Sources in the Ukrainian security services have told the BBC they carried out the attack. These are some of the latest pictures from the scene showing the damage. The video appears to have been taken from the railway track which runs alongside the bridge. The rail line hasn't been impacted. Investigators are now surveying the damage on the bridge. Video released by the committee investigating the attack shows debris being picked up there. The bridge was temporarily shut last year after it was severely damaged in another attack.